What is coaching?
A collaborative, conversation-based process that helps individuals identify goals, overcome obstacles, and unlock their potential through guided questioning and reflection.
What is the GROW model?
A structured coaching framework. Goal: what you want to achieve, reality, current situation, options, possible approaches, way forward, specific actions to take.
What does the G in GROW stand for?
Goal: the specific outcome or target the coachee wants to achieve. Goals should be clear, meaningful, and ideally measurable.
What does the R in GROW stand for?
Reality: an honest assessment of the current situation, including challenges, resources, and what has already been tried.
What does the O in GROW stand for?
Options: brainstorming possible strategies, solutions, or approaches without filtering or judging them initially.
What does the W in GROW stand for?
Will or way forward: the specific actions the coachee commits to taking, with timelines and accountability mechanisms.
What is the difference between coaching and mentoring?
Coaching focuses on helping someone find their own answers through questioning. Mentoring involves sharing experience and advice. Coaches don't need to be subject matter experts.
What is the difference between coaching and consulting?
Consultants diagnose problems and prescribe solutions from their expertise. Coaches ask questions and facilitate the client's own discovery and problem solving.
What is the ICF definition of coaching?
The International Coaching Federation defines coaching as partnering with clients in a thought-provoking and creative process that inspires them to maximize their personal and professional potential.
What are the 3 ICF core coaching competencies clusters?
1. Setting the foundation, ethics, agreements. 2. Co-creating the relationship, presence, trust, communication. 3. Communicating effectively and facilitating learning.
What is a coaching agreement?
A shared understanding between coach and coachee about what they are working on, what success looks like, and how they will work together during a session or engagement.
What does coaching presence mean?
Being fully conscious and present with the client, bringing open, flexible, confident attention to the interaction without judgment or a preset agenda.
What is the inner critic in coaching?
The internal voice that generates self-doubt, harsh self-judgment, or resistance to change. Coaches help clients recognize and work constructively with this voice.
What is a powerful question in coaching?
An open-ended question that provokes thought, uncovers assumptions, or creates new awareness, e.g., what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail?
What is appreciative inquiry in coaching?
A strengths-based approach that focuses on what is working well and uses those strengths as a foundation for growth and positive change.
What is accountability in a coaching context?
Supporting the client in following through on their stated intentions, checking in on commitments and helping them reflect on what they learned when they didn't follow through.
What is a blind spot in coaching?
An area where the coachee lacks self-awareness, a pattern, belief, or behavior they cannot see without external reflection from a coach.
What is the role of silence in coaching?
Silence gives the coachee space to think, reflect, and reach their own insights. Comfortable silence is a sign of skillful coaching, not awkwardness.
What is direct communication in coaching?
Sharing observations, insights, and feedback in a clear, direct way that is helpful to the client, without softening to the point of losing impact.
What is the difference between a problem-focused and a solution-focused coaching approach?
Problem-focused coaching explores causes and history. Solution-focused coaching directs energy toward what the desired future looks like and how to get there.
What is the ladder of inference?
A model of how we jump from raw data to conclusions. Data-filtered perceptions, interpreted meaning, assumptions, conclusions, beliefs, actions.
What is the reticular activating system, RAS, and how does it relate to coaching?
The RAS filters sensory input and primes us to notice what we focus on. Goal setting in coaching works partly by directing the RAS to notice relevant opportunities.
What is a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset, DWEC?
Fixed mindset, abilities are static and innate. Growth mindset, abilities can be developed through effort, feedback, and good strategies.
How do coaches build trust with clients?
Through consistent reliability, honesty, active listening, respecting confidentiality, avoiding judgment, and genuinely caring about the client's success.
What is clean language in coaching?
A questioning technique that uses the client's own exact words and metaphors to explore their experience without introducing the coach's own language or assumptions.
What is a coaching arc?
The overall structure of a coaching engagement, establishing goals and baseline, working sessions, progress reviews, and closing/consolidation.
What is the difference between what questions and why questions in coaching?
What questions, what happened? What matters most, promote forward-focused thinking. Why questions can trigger defensiveness or rumination.
What is positive psychology and how does it inform coaching?
Positive psychology studies well-being, strengths, and flourishing. It informs coaching by focusing on developing strengths and building engagement rather than only fixing deficits.
What is the VIA character strengths model?
A classification of 24 universal human character strengths, e.g., curiosity, bravery, kindness. Used in coaching to identify and leverage a person's core strengths.
What is transactional analysis, TA, and how is it used in coaching?
TA is a psychological framework that describes ego states, parent, adult, child, and patterns of interaction. Coaches use it to help clients recognize unhelpful communication patterns.
Why is goal specificity important in coaching?
Specific goals make progress easier to measure and reduce vague conversations that feel insightful but do not lead to action.
What is a limiting belief in coaching?
A limiting belief is an assumption about oneself or the world that restricts action or possibility.
Why do coaches ask reflective questions instead of offering quick answers?
Reflection builds the client's own judgment and ownership, which lasts longer than borrowed advice.
What is self-awareness in coaching?
Self-awareness is the client's clearer understanding of their patterns, emotions, assumptions, and choices.
What is the role of silence in coaching?
Silence gives clients space to think, feel, and notice insights they might otherwise rush past.
What is a coaching session outcome?
A coaching session outcome is the practical clarity, insight, or commitment the client leaves with after the conversation.
Why should coaches avoid rescuing clients from discomfort too quickly?
Discomfort often signals meaningful learning, and premature rescue can interrupt the client's growth process.
What is reframing in coaching?
Reframing is helping the client see a situation through a different, often more useful perspective.
What is an action commitment in coaching?
An action commitment is the specific next step the client chooses to take after the session.
Why is accountability follow-up helpful?
Follow-up turns intentions into observable behavior and creates learning even when the client did not follow through.
What is a coaching mindset?
A coaching mindset combines curiosity, non-judgment, belief in the client's resourcefulness, and patience with the process.
What is a strong coaching principle?
Trust the client's capacity while helping them think more clearly than they could alone.